I'm Corvain Cooper. Go to Black Box Productions now. Subscribe. Go. What's taking you so long? Subscribe. Go. You only got a second left. Go.
100 young niggas with me hollering 2 C's. Whacking pool riders and my niggas from 2 P's. I smashed in the 90s and I'm running the 2 G's. You ain't a gangbanger, so you running with 2 T's. And Hurricane stomping with your flame bandana. In Compton, they say you used to claim Santana. You gave that up and really start tripping. And yo, Doja, could you tell me what made you start stripping? This bitch boy cannot see me. Listen to the way I rhyme. In the streets, I got that easy. This West Coast is mine.
So Corvain Cooper, Spider Loc, man, 2 of the coolest guys in the world. How did you guys meet?
You can't spell the West without the ES, man.
East side business.
Yeah, so, we met on the East Side back in the day, and shit, you see 2 great minds motherfucking linking up, that shit ain't gonna never stop. It's just, you're gonna be like glue.
Oh, my mama.
So this is an East Coast, East Side thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
East side,
yeah.
East side, right.
Right. So you gentlemen were running the streets at an early age. Like, what are we talking, Loc? 15, 14, right around there?
Yeah, I mean, both of us was running the streets at an early age, but our actual connection of doing things was like more so early 20s, of being together around, hitting the same corners in the same circles, knowing the same people, you know what I'm saying, politicking.
Right.
Yeah.
And Corvain, you mentioned you used to run with Spider Loc's big bro, right?
Yeah.
Big SBI, what they do? See that thing
SBI,
like.
what they do, bro. You know what I mean? So it's been going on for a minute now, man. This is not overnight. It's been going on for some years.
Yeah, I just feel real honored about the fact to be able to bring one of my peers from the underworld. Typically, people that I consider heroes or superstars from the other side of life, I never get the opportunity to sit on these sides of the cameras and lights with them, just based on the way they have conducted their lives. And typically the cameras and the lights are not your friend. But to be able to be with one of my comrades from day uno, who has gone through somewhat of a Jonah experience, the belly of the beast, and to be able to be on the other side and to be able to share his experience, I would never imagine being able to share this type of platform with Cuz. And this is just a beautiful thing to me. He's always been articulate. He's always been what the rappers pretend to be. These are the type of individuals that when you got a cat that's rapping and he pretending, he rap about being these type of niggas. Right. So I want to introduce to my audience, Corvain Cooper, my Loc. Y'all might have heard the story. I know we say FDT. FDT has been a phrase we all adapted, but we want to thank the orange head man because he freed my Loc on my mama.
It's a trip because, you guys have such a history together. And Spider, you did what, eight, behind bars? Five,
yep.
But there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
Corvain, you didn't know what your future held, man. Talk about that dark belly of the beast experience, man. Who was in your corner during that time?
It's just hard because you start losing family members with this shit because now you're supposed to die in this business. So people really, it's gonna be tight, man. It's gonna get dark in there, and then you're way out the state, and yeah, it's gonna get dark, bro.
I wasn't behind the wall with Cuz, right? But you see that smile, I guarantee you it never left. It might not have been there every moment or every day, but that's the kind of energy, spirit that Cuz has always had. Like up, down, that smile be there. And I believe the spirit that motivates that smile had a lot to do with keeping the nigga on deck with the hope, the faith. Because coming from where we come from and being a winner the whole time through, it takes a certain type of character. Cuz been winning. So to take that L like, damn, my winning is over with, you feel me? He been winning. You know what I'm saying?
Spider, was that your experience too? You got to see who was really in your circumference, man, when you were behind bars.
Let me tell you something. Just on the gangbang level, I've never got a letter. I've been to prison twice. I've never got a letter, money, or nothing from nobody from my section. And guess what? I've never took an ill attitude toward it. As an adult, this is the type of information I arm myself with to where no one can obligate me to anything. Because I was young, super active, fully with it, did stretches, and never had none of that homie, money, all that. That never even played a part in my analyzation was whether or not this shit was cool. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely find out. I realized who was in my corner. You know who wrote me letters? My mom and her sisters, my father's wife. You know, they send you shit, a few dollars, and tell you it's ice cream money and shit. That's the people who, you know what I'm saying, I learned to appreciate.
And you know, Loke, you were telling me how important it was to receive that. Corvain, you're helping some guys that are behind the wall, man. Tell us how our audience could shoot them some paper to make their lives a little easier, man. These cannabis prisoners.
They can go on our site, 40tons.co, right? And these are all the 6 lifers that we know of right now that has a life of marijuana. And when you buy their shirt, just in case a person wants to obtain something instead of just giving them some money, they can wear their shirt proudly and notice that all the proceeds we're sending straight to their books and it's going straight to them. And if they only got 50 cents and they just want to write a stamp, they can just write them a letter, you know what I mean? Just to get a letter from, like I'm a part of Last Prisoner Project, I'm a board member, and some of the letters that I got from other people that I've never met in my entire life, that I'm still, Lisa Buffo and Carly Kramer and people like that I'm still friends with today, that just wrote me out of nowhere and stayed with me during my bid, is some shit you ain't gonna forget, you know what I mean?
I just noticed that the website is entitled 40tons.com. Do you mind adding any kind of like reference to why you arrived at the name 40 Tons?
40 Tons is the amount of conspiracy that I was charged with, and it's 40tons.co because it's a company, you know, so the com is this difference because it's .co, and then I looked at the newspaper clipping every morning, right, until about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we had a riot. So
you had it on your wall?
I had it on the wall, so I wake up to it, so the 40 Tons. So they had the 40 Tons conspiracy, locked up, Corvain couldn't get life. And, you know, I went to trial with my girl. You feel what I'm saying? So, well, she was my girl at the time. She's my girl now.
How did she participate?
She went to the door and looked at them up there when they was up there, climbing up there talking, you know what I mean? And telling all that a whole mob business, you feel what I'm saying?
That's
it was, she was standing there, her and Natalia, her and her cousin. I went to trial with 2 women, actually. And I said her company is 87 months now. I told her you got to turn your mind to a plus. So her thing is 87.
You, mama.
So Evelyn, shout out to 87 months.
Y'all that's in the game, thinking about being in the game, you analyze everything that you overstood. And see, I don't find too many niggas with stories where they homies stay solid. So salute to Evelyn. Oh, my mama.
Man, because it's serious. And so we had a riot, and they came and took, you know, you had a riot, they're going to come take everything. Right. So they took down my newspaper clipping. So that's when I call Ant, you know what I mean? I'm like, Ant, man, we got to do something about it. We got to start trying to.
Oh, wait, so Ant, shout out to Ant, the manager.
Ant was on the case, too.
He was on the case while he was behind the board. It's not
he was
somebody...
on the case, and then he got out.
Okay.
Because he just did the money laundering. Ant is a part of the conspiracy, you know that?
Ant is your crimey?
Ant's my crimey, too.
So, wait, Ant, for y'all that don't know, Ant has been helping my brother transition from career criminal extraordinaire into public figures, sharing his story and being a motivational speaker amongst other things. And I've been dealing with Ant and connecting Ant with other corporate people, had no idea. Cuz I'm loving this story even more. Salute to Ant, man. Go ahead, bro.
And that was actually Ant's 3rd time because he got caught with the $50,000 in the mail. Did 2 years for that. Then he did 2 years. He got caught with the $200,000 at the airport in Charlotte. Then he got caught on this conspiracy. So he served three 2-year bids off for the same crime. You feel what I'm saying? So when he got out, he reached out, and I'm like, we got a bill, we got to use this. So he's like, well, first, you know, we got to just get the paperwork in order, get the trademarks, let's do that. And then it was like, you know, I asked his wife, right, because he still was on parole at the time. So I was like, we need you, L'Oreal, to put the company in your name and be the forefront of Black women, you know. So I said the first thing that we need to do is get the trademark and name it 40 Tons. She was like, you don't think 40 Tons gonna be a slap in the face because you're still trying to get out of jail? Right. I'm like, no, God told me to do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? So we went and done it. Brittany K. Barnett gave us our first, shout out Brittany K. Barnett and the Buried Alive Project, gave us our first 20,000.
Project he just said?
The Buried Alive Project.
Buried Alive, man.
She's been responsible for getting Alice Johnson out. Corey Jacobs has 16 life sentences. That's Puffy's best friend. Sharonda. a list of other Chris Young.
Free Mike DeRoe,
Yeah.
Chris Young, the other names he named.
Yeah.
Mike DeRoe has nothing to do with anything we're discussing, but it's in the same spirit. I just want to say free Mike DeRoe. Lil Al. Love you, Lo. Go ahead.
So she helped us and get on our feet, get our first 20 grand to get it started, get the 40 tons and started that. Shit, we ain't stopped since. I've been, since I came out that gate, we pushing.
Tell me this, the fact that you were buried alive for allegedly possessing a certain amount of marijuana, 40 tons allegedly, how do you feel seeing that the makeover that marijuana is receiving in the public eyesight?
I feel it's kind of like hater, because it's kind of like, oh, wait a minute, you got caught with an ounce, or you got caught with 20 grams or a QP. Just give him a slap on the wrist. Wait a minute, hold up. You call yourself trying to make some money and try to get what we're getting, and you're trying to have a seat at the table, and you're trying to get you're trying to be established in the game. Oh no, he got to get punished. Wow. You know, but everybody else can kind of get a slap on the wrist.
I never thought about it from that perspective. It's
like,
kind of like
just don't. You can sell it, but don't. Wait a minute. Are you trying to be successful at selling it? You know, like, don't be successful at selling it.
Does that then bring your mind to a challenge that people that look like us run into in corporate America, seemingly outside of even the business of marijuana? It seems like you say every time we see a powerful black man, Bill Cosby, for example, he just went through what he went through. And if you listen to mostly the conspiracy theorists, they'll say the actual reason was because he was trying to make a power move for NBC or CBS. So do you think there's like a certain ceiling placed on people, entrepreneurs, grinders of our level? Because even as big as the NBA and NFL are, it would never be as big as it is without us participating. However, we are not represented in the ownership bracket. Right. So that's kind of like something that seems like we run up against in America, period. Anytime we start maximizing it, it turns into a problem.
And that's how I felt, and that's how I still feel, and I feel very strongly of that, and I feel like, okay, you know, it felt good, you know, even seeing a black coach. There was a lot of black coaches in the playoffs this year. You know what I mean? So,
I remember a black quarterback was like, hey.
Yeah, Doug Williams and Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham or something. Warren Moore.
That was like, exactly. You know, that's where it stopped.
And when Doug Williams did that to Elway in the Super Bowl, that was like a hell of, I don't know if everybody remember when, because Elway came out first drive and threw like a 60-yard touchdown bomb. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. And the Washington quarterback went down, shout out to the Generals. And then, that's not the Generals, but then Doug Williams came in and saved the day. Tell me this though, now that you're on the other side of the darkness and marijuana is such a profitable industry, do you have any strides in the legal marijuana?
Yeah, I want to get into the space, but it's like, you know, there's no plant touching because I'm on parole. I'm on 10 years parole too, by the way.
10 years?
You know what I mean?
Look how they do it.
So I got to walk.
So were you exonerated or were you?
No, see, I got a clemency. It's just like, okay, your sentence is being compensated where they're saying you did enough time for the crime that you committed. You don't deserve.
You were over-sentenced.
You're over-sentenced.
And now we're going to take some of that
We're going to let you out. But a pardon is when it's cleaned off your record. It never happened. The only thing that you did miss was the time that you missed.
So how important and how active was the actual former president in your whole situation? Was it like just his name on it by face, or was he actually aware and did he actually decide?
He's actually aware and decided. His daughter brought it to Ivanka, played a major part. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ivanka. You feel what I'm saying? So I got the letter from Ivanka. I got to frame it.
You know, I know you, right? Yeah. I know you for years. So without your personal experience, you would just typically feel like everybody else feels. Like, how does it feel having to be on the side of?
It's like history. Yeah. It's a tight line. It's even a tight line even when you're dealing with your own woman or something. Right. It's like when the letter came up. You know, she was like, no, don't post that. You feel what I'm saying? I just got a letter from the president. She didn't want me to post it. You know, so it's like, you know, it's a tight line because it's the way people, you might lose people, you know what I mean? You got to understand when you was gone, you don't know what he was out here doing. Right. So I'm like, I maybe don't know what he was out here doing, but what I did know is that he said what he wanted to say. I don't feel like, you know, he's a backbiter. I feel if he don't like you, he don't like you. You know, he hates a snitch. He loves a stand-up man. And shit, he got me back free and got me back with my kids, and God put it on his heart for him to sign the paper, and I couldn't do it if the paper wasn't signed.
Hey, and I want to let the world know, because of this, I have a personal reason to appreciate the former POLITICIN. I was on the bandwagon, basically highly due to the fact that Neighborhood Nip jumped on it. I was riding with the homie. But for a long time, I used to debate with my father. He'd be like, man, fuck Trump. I'd be like, why? Why? He could never articulate why he actually felt that way. So I used to always tease my father. But I was looking for a reason to not like him. And I found my reason in when he said, make America great again. And I look at the history of my people in America, and I was like, damn, so if it's gonna get great to like it used to be, we was never good. Yeah, so I used that for a reason to etch out a reason to like, fuck him. But he's redeemed himself personally with me in the fact that my brother is sitting here with me on the other side of death.
And shout out to Ariel. He got
Ariel home too,
Ariel
JD home.
Yeah.
A lot of legendary real ones that was buried alive at home, man. And I just want to appreciate you for coming, bro.
We do, bro.
You already know how we do,
bro.
God.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, I'm proud of the way you're getting used to these lights and cameras. It's okay.
Yeah. At first you're nervous, you got to bring yourself into them, but you know what I mean?
You're doing a great job, man. You've always possessed the charisma and everything else, and it's just our time, man. So I want to say keep it at Google. If you want to let my followers know where they can find you, keep up with you, that'll be a beautiful thing.
Go to Corvain Cooper on Instagram, follow the story, follow everything that's going on. Go to 40 Tons brand, go to 40tons.co, and just go check it out, see what we're doing, see what we're about, follow it on the day-to-day, and see, we're gonna try to show you on the day-to-day what's going on. So keep up, see me being a father, see me getting back in society, see what I'm doing.